All right, agents, you already know what this is. It is time for another weekly vendor reset with your man, Just Call Me Swift, where I give you the fastest, no nonsense vendor reviews on what they have to offer this week. Now, I've done this a couple of ways. I've dropped these videos on Tuesday and I've dropped them on Wednesday so I can include Cassie Mendoza in the video. Now, let me know in the comments below whether you'd rather have it all dropped on Wednesday so you can have Cassie Mendoza's information, or you want to have it right away and have two separate videos. All right, let's take a look at the first item we have here in the White House. First item up is the pristine example. Not a particularly good roll. Haven't seen this in a while. I'm going to say pass, but this P90 here is actually not too bad. I would change that last attribute. You've got measured on it. Would make a dope gun. I think the weapon damage is okay. The rest of these, we're just going to scroll through because I know that they're not actually any good, and I'm not going to waste your time with them. All right, let's speed run all the way to the clan vendor and see what the clan vendor has in store for us. Now, the first item up is going to be the swap chain. Swap chain here is actually not too bad. Just change that last attribute as well. The rest of these I am not impressed with. Now, I was looking at this vector down below. The vector doesn't have great rolls. It doesn't have bad rolls. But the thing I really don't like about this vector is the talent. And here's the thing. The vector is primarily for PvP. You use it in the dark zone, but you're not going to be killing people like that to proc this particular talent. Now let's go ahead and take a trip to the Theater settlement and see what the Theater has for us. And the first item up is that firm handshake. Firm handshake, we had it last week. I think it had 10.9 weapon damage on it. This week, a little bit better with the 11.3. Not impressed with anything else here. I was looking at these Grupo Sombra gloves because you could roll crit damage on it, but that everything else on it is just too low, so I'm not going to mess with it. Now let's take a quick look at the campus settlement. Now here at the campus settlement, the first item up is going to be the Ecom's long stick. Absolutely trash, and I can tell you that everything else here is going to be trash. Go ahead and fast forward through the video a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the DZ West. And at the DZ West, here we've got the Emperor's Guard knee pads. Now, we've had these before, and I'll tell you what I said then. If you don't have these, and a lot of people don't even know they exist in the game, go ahead and grab these. Now, ideally, you'd want these to roll with some type of armor regeneration other than what's on it, and then you could change that core attribute. We're not going to get it, so let's take what we got and work with it. Everything else here, unless you're looking for something that's max for your library, I would not waste my time. Let's go ahead and take a look at the DZ South. Now, the DZ South first item, door kickers knock, that Grupo Sombra. If you were doing an explosive build, then you could change the middle talent on this and work with it. Not absolutely stunning, not great. So it's particularly up to you if you want to do some kind of an explosive build to work with this. Everything else here is not particularly good. So let's not really waste any time in here. All right. Now, here we go again with the Hollow Man mask. And actually, a couple of weeks ago, we had this in the exact same order. We did have the Hollow Man mask and we did have the Emperor's Guard. So it looks like they have things set on a rotation. This time, however, we have the Hollow Man mask with hazard protection, which is absolutely what you want on this thing. To top up your hazard protection. If you are in the raid right now, guys, go and get this. You should be looking for this mask. It is rolled exactly the way we wanted. Everything else in here, I'm not going to spend time on it. That's why I'm talking through it. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at New York. New York always has the worst vendors thus far. They don't have any named items. Nothing in here is particularly good. Max weapon handling, you can find that on almost anything these days. It is bad as Rainbow Roll. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this second vendor. All right, the last vendor here in the White House, or sorry, the New York, and the only thing I've looked at here that I would work with is probably this Super 90. Now, Super 90 has the rolls that we want, and you can max out that shotgun damage. I do not like that talent, but there's a lot of guys running around in the DZ blinding people, and then you could just blow them away with that shotgun. So, uh, decently done if that's what you want. Now, other than some max roll items, there's nothing else here. We will get back to you with Cassie Mendoza. All right, agents. So we waited around for Cassie Mendoza. This is where she can be found at the moment. Let's go and see what she's got in store for us this week. All right. So the first item up here is the lightning rod. Not great rolls, not really that bad roll, but these firm handshakes are definitely worse than the ones that we saw at the theater this week. Shield splinter last week, we had a double max roll on that one. If you did pick that up, then you're in good standing. Nothing else here really that I do like, except for these outgoing or ongoing directive gloves with the 13.7 weapon damage. That's a decent amount of weapon damage if you want to mess around with those. I can honestly say that nothing else here is worth your time. So unfortunately this week Cassie Mendoza is a bust, but definitely go to those DZ vendors if you've looked at the rest of the video and pick up the Hollow Man mask and the Miracombi knee pads. That's it this week, agents.